Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Yep, here we are. June something. I think it's the 13th. Yes, June 13th. Welcome to everyone from this group. Monica Corrado here, the GAPS chef, and I'm here to talk with you today about some very important things. My website is simplybeingwell.com. What can I tell you? I'm a holistic nutritionist. I'm a teaching chef. I am the GAPS chef, and my intention with these videos is to answer your questions about how to implement GAPS and to what can I say? To accurately represent Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride's work in both the yellow book, Gut and Psychology Syndrome, and in the blue book, Gut and Physiology Syndrome. Nothing I say has been approved by the FDA, and I am not a medical doctor. So, here we go. Mostly I talk about food and how to do the diet so that it can, it can bring you the thriving body that you would like. Okay, good morning to everyone. Hello, Lenica, yes. Hello, Barrett. Hello, Abida. Hello, Fatima. Good to have all of you with me today, and everyone else who is coming on this to this Facebook Live, and also to anyone who watches this later. Okay. So every week, as you all know, I try to pick a topic that I think will be helpful to the group. And I teach for somewhere between, 10 to 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Hello, Eva. Hello, Nicole. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. Okay, so today's topic, I was a little bit, what can we say? I was a little bit cloaked in this one. Good to see you, Eva, yes. Hello, Tanya. Good to have Tanya here, too. Hello, Jessica. Come on down. Who else is here? Say hello. Hello. Okay. I was a little bit cloaked about this one because I wanted to see how many people would come just to hear about how to do GAPS in a way that you can have better digestion and better absorption. And so secrets too, right? So here we are, doing the GAPS nutritional protocol. We are spending time sourcing clean food. We are spending time finding farmers. We are spending time learning how to cook again, the way our grandparents, our grandmothers and great-grandmothers knew. We are spending money on books. We are reading. We are joining groups. We are taking training. We are trying to learn the diet and implement it in a way that is what Dr. Natasha suggests through either the intro diet and stages or the full GAPS diet. And we're doing all these things. We're spending time. We're spending money. We are making effort. It's taking a lot from a lot of us to implement not only the nutritional protocol, which is the what do I not eat and what do I eat and in what order and how much, etc., and how do I listen to my body, but we're also doing things like, I hope, please, everyone should be doing a detoxification protocol alongside the food, right? So we do the food and we do the detox. They are both required in order to be doing the GAPS diet. Great. I love all of that. And many of you on this live with me today, and many of the people on the group or in the group, people who will watch this later on YouTube, etc., know that you're spending a lot of money, you're spending a lot of time, you're trying to get it right, and you're doing the best you can. Yes, I think anyone would, and everyone that's doing GAPS would agree with that. So, what do I have to offer you today? One little secret which will help everything that you are doing work more effectively, more efficiently. It will help your, I really can't say healing. It will help you feel better faster. Sorry. Right? So what is that? So let's all take a deep breath. Are you ready? I wish I had a drum roll. Actually, my son plays the drums, but I told him he couldn't play right now because I'm online. Anyway, okay. So, drum roll, please. What is the secret? The secret is to pause. The secret is to practice presence. The secret is to eat and drink when you are in a parasympathetic state. That means that you are in the rest and digest state. That means that you are not in fight or flight. You are not in freeze. What else does it mean? It means that you are not eating in the car. Well, you can eat in the car as long as you're doing it mindfully. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about mindfulness, about when we eat. Mindfulness when we eat. Practicing presence. Presence. Not about birthday presents or Christmas presents or whatever other holiday you celebrate presents. Practicing presence. Practicing mindfulness. Being with your food. Being in a state of gratitude. Being in a state of appreciation. Deep appreciation for the land that grew the food. For the farmer that planted the food, that harvested the food, for the animals that gave their lives for you, right? Deep appreciation for the person who made the food. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's me. Maybe I should be in more appreciation for myself, right? So deep appreciation for the gift of the food. So when we talk about being in the sympathetic state, we're talking about being in the state of calm, in the state of presence, in the state of mindfulness when we eat. Actually, before we eat. And I actually gave this as a challenge to my GAPS chat group. I run a GAPS chat every Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain. And that's through my website. It's a subscription group. In any case, I gave them the challenge of, can you pick one meal once a day where you are actually present to the food? Again, that means that you are not rushing, you're not gobbling, you're not shoving food in your mouth, you're not watching television, you are not, driving in the car while you're driving and right, eating and driving. You're not speeding around in your life. You're not worried. You're not allowing your mind to take you other places, right? We're in the moment. So Dr. Natasha, this is not just Monica talking here. This is Dr. Natasha talking here. She calls this the Mealtime Ritual. She calls this the GAPS Mealtime Ritual. She talks about it, certainly in the blue book. Yeah, page 212. It has 2 pages. It's called the GAPS Mealtime Ritual. And Dr. Natasha says, we have talked a lot about what we should eat. Now let us address a very important issue. In what state should we eat our food? I love this. I'm going to read one more line. It has been said many times that we are what we eat. And we talk about that on this Ask the GAPS Chef. We talk about it all over Facebook. We talk about it. I talk about it with clients. I talk about it with anyone who listens. We are what we eat. We're trying to eat, right, foods that are raised sustainably. We're trying to eat food that is raised cleanly. We're trying to eat food that we cook mindfully and correctly so that it's nutrient dense and nutrient available, bioavailable, so that it's pre-digested so our body can use it. All of those things are very, very important. And next line, but no matter how good your food is, I've said it a million times, no matter how good your food is, if you are not able to digest or assimilate it properly, it will not do you much good. This is direct quotes from the Blue Book. The part of the human nervous system that is responsible for proper food digestion and assimilation is called the autonomic nervous system. Right? It has two branches which generally work in opposition to each other, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So I've been saying, we must be in parasympathetic to be able to digest and absorb our food. Do we know why? Because when we're in sympathetic, all of our energy is out in our limbs. It's getting ready for us to run away. It's getting ready for us to fight or flight. So all our energy is out in our limbs and our arms and legs. It's not in our digestive system. We cannot digest when we are anxious. We cannot digest when we are stressed out. We cannot digest when we are freaked out. We cannot digest when we are angry. We cannot digest in any of those times. We can't. Doesn't matter. You could own your own organic farm, raise your own organic food. You know, I talk about the Cadillac and the broken down Volkswagen bus. You could be eating the Cadillac all the time. And if you are stressed out, wigged out, freaked out, angry, anxious, traumatized, we've talked about trauma before, we've talked about flower remedies for trauma, etc. If you are any of those things when you're eating, all bets are off. You will not receive the nutrition in that food, no matter how beautifully it was raised, no matter how wonderfully it was cooked or fermented or whatever. If you're not present to your food, thanks, Tara. There we go. Hope that's better. If you're not present to your food, you will not receive the benefit of the food. So, one more time with feeling. Give me a thumbs up if it got better, Tara. I hope so. Right? One more time with feeling. You must be in a parasympathetic state in order to digest and assimilate your food. So, Dr. Natasha says, we must be in a parasympathetic state in order to digest our food well and really benefit from it. In our modern world, we need to make a special effort to get into the parasympathetic, I don't have any fan, parasympathetic state before consuming food. It is particularly important for people with any digestive problems and any chronic degenerative disease. So again, it's in here, page 212, Blue Book, the GAPS Mealtime Ritual. Anyone who's on GAPS needs to read this chapter. Anyone who is training to be a practitioner or a coach needs to know this very, very clearly. What do? We need to make sure that the whole family switches into a parasympathetic state before starting to eat. We need to put their minds on food. How can we do that? It used to be that people would pray before meals. Today, that tradition, straight from the book, has largely been lost. It is not clear if the prayer put the people in a parasympathetic state, but it certainly put their minds on food. So, she put a little rhyme in here, and she also talks about breathing. So we say the rhyme, then we take 3 deep breaths as a family, as a unit, as the people gathered around the table, and then we eat. So, I'll go ahead and, I'm sorry about this, folks. We don't have anything going on in the background. I'm as high as I can go. Maybe I should just get closer. Getting closer. There we go. Getting closer. Okay. Thanks, Misha. Thanks, Tara. All right. So, in any case, it is in gut and physiology syndrome. The idea is to take a moment, take a deep breath, slowly in, slowly out. Do that 3 times. Feel your feet on the ground. Come present into this moment right here, right now. Right here, right now, your task, the family's task, your child's task, is to be present to the food on the plate. And I'll give you another hint. Dr. Natasha also talks about chewing and the fact that we should chew our food. She even says we should chew our juice and chew our GAPS milkshakes. That means we actually move food around in the mouth, which activates digestion. When we're just shoving food in our mouth, eat, 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 fast, fast, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Your body doesn't even have a chance. Your brain's not even saying, oh, there's food coming. Hey, stomach, there's food coming. Hey, pancreas, get ready with those enzymes. Hey, gallbladder, there's going to be fat. Get ready to release the bile. No. So, if you can chew, feel the food in your mouth. Be aware of the texture of the food. Is it creamy? Is it dry? Is it soft? Is it crunchy? What is it? What does it taste like? What does it feel like on your teeth? What does it feel like on your tongue? Can you smell the food before you eat it? Smell the food. If we smell the food and we engage the senses, right? We engage the smell before we eat it. That also helps turn on the digestive process. So, we use our eyes to look at this beautiful food that someone grew for me. We use our eyes to look at the food that someone prepared for me. Maybe it was me. I prepared it for myself. Right? Someone prepared the food. Someone made an effort to source it, clean it, chop it, ferment it, cook it, do something. Right? So we use our eyes to appreciate the food. We use our nose to engage the olfactory, right? To engage your senses. And then the digestion starts, right? We know if we smell, we start, right? We start salivating. We start thinking of the food. You can think of food right now and start salivating. Yeah? So we use the eyes to appreciate. We use the nose to bring in the scent and the smell of the food. We use our mouth to slowly chew, feel the texture of the food, chew it, move it around on it with our tongue, thank it, open to it, swallow. Okay. That's the secret, folks. That's one of the biggest secrets. In the Buddhist tradition, I'm not a Buddhist, but I've studied enough for years. In the Buddhist tradition, you can find the whole ocean in a drop of water. Can you find all the nutrients your body needs in that one bite of food? Maybe. Can you open to the possibility that that could be so? I'm moving into another piece of what Dr. Natasha talks about. It's in the book, it's in the article that she wrote called One Man's Meat is Another Man's Poison. You could say one person's meat is another person's poison, right? But knowing that this incredible physical body, right? She talks about it a lot, is able to create the substances that the body needs from whatever we put in our mouths, right? All sorts of chemicals, good chemicals, all sorts of enzymes, all sorts of chemicals, all sorts of catalysts, all sorts of things, right? Because the body is brilliant, it is wise, it is divine architecture. It is so incredibly smart. And so to open to that possibility too, that with every bite, you could get the nutrients, the nutrition that you need. So those are the two secrets for the day. I just wanted to bring us back to the fact that, and Dr. Natasha wants us to get back there of, yes, is it important to source clean food? Yes. Is it important for us to source the best quality food we can find? Yes. Is it important for us to prepare it in a way that it is bioavailable, it is nutrient dense? Yes. And for all of that, it's really important for us to actually be mindful, be present, and be aware of the food that we are eating. And transparency here, folks, being, honest Injun, here I am. Do I do this all the time? No. I mean, this is a reminder for me too. Life is busy. So can we make the mealtime a ritual of connection with each other, of connection with our food, of connection with the earth, of connection with the farmers and the crops and the plants and the animals? Can we make it a time of connection? Can we make it a time of presence, practicing mindfulness, opening to the blessing of the nutrition of every bite? So that's what I'm leaving you with. For those of you that have trauma in your background, of which there are probably 90% of people watching right now, I do suggest that you take a look at the flower essence video I did last week, but also look at the tools for trauma I did, I don't know when, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I don't know when, on Ask the GAPS Chef. Tools for trauma. Star of Bethlehem is awesome. There are somatic practitioners out there. There's all sorts of things that you can be using to help yourself get to a point where you can be in that parasympathetic mode. You can slow down just a little and try to be aware of your food. Sometimes, just a thought, folks, maybe we could actually schedule in 30 minutes for eating. Yeah. Okay, that's what I've got. We've got Tanya saying a couple things here. Tanya says, so awesome. Yes, I listen to classical or meditative music when I eat and enjoy every bite. Yes. One bite at a time. Chewing, some people say chew 50 times, 100 times. How about if we just chewed 20? Instead of chew, chew, swallow, chew, chew, swallow. Sounds like a song or a train. It changes everything with prayer and left nostril breathing before we eat. Yep, that's one of the techniques you can do to get yourself calmed down. Hello, Vicky, just came on. Woo woo. Hello, Sarisha. Hello, 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 Peggy. Okay, Tara. Okay. Hello, Roseanne. Good to have you. All right, everybody's here. I think I said hello to everybody else. So we have a question. So what will happen then? Will the food go undigested? Yes. I know, you probably don't believe me. But what will happen is this. If, in fact, we are not taking the time to chew our food, that activates the chemical enzymes in the mouth that starts digestion. We are supposed to be chewing. So if you're not chewing, you're bolting, right? I call it bolting. You're just shoving it in your mouth and swallow, eat, swallow. Yeah, so if you're not chewing is very important. That is the physical digestion, mechanical digestion, right? And then the enzymes are released, so now we've got chemical digestion. A third of your digestion should happen in your mouth. Number one. So if you're not present to your food and you're not actually tasting your food and you're not actually chewing your food, then you're not digesting your food in your mouth. Then it's going to move to the stomach. What happens when we bolt food and we are anxious? Then our fabulous stomach acid will not be efficient, will not be effective. We're going to be like this. We're anxious. How can our stomach work if we're anxious? It can't. Stomach is supposed to go like this. Churn, churn, churn. Churn, churn, churn. Churn, churn, churn. If we're like this, yeah. Lots of people are like this. I'm like doing this, folks. I'm anxious. I can't eat. Right? So, yeah. Will it go undigested? Yes, it will go largely undigested. A lot of people who have constipation are people, again, generalization. I don't have any studies for you, but I do know that people that are constipated are contracted. Things aren't moving. Things are stuck. A lot of people who have constipation, again, there's other reasons, but a lot of people who have constipation are people who are anxious. They're anxious, they're frightened, they're traumatized, they are contracted. Things can't move when you're contracted. Can't happen, right? So, yes, food will go undigested. Certainly, it will not be digested thoroughly. It will not be digested efficiently. It will not be digested, and a lot of the food will go out the large intestine, out the colon, out the stool, gone. So again, being present to your food, you're actually open, you're actually relaxed enough for your body to access the nutrients in the food. Very important. All right, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Does it help then to drink a little vinegar? When? Give me more. Why drinking vinegar? What helps is being relaxed. This is driving me crazy. Oh well. What helps is to be relaxed. What helps is to breathe deeply. What helps always, apple cider vinegar is a wonderful thing because apple cider vinegar can help with stomach acid, yes. We don't want to raise the pH ever. We want the pH to be low. What we want to do is to increase the amount of stomach acid. Just so everyone's clear, you don't want to raise pH, everybody. Stomach acid is low. The number is low. It's below 7. You want to increase the amount, the production of stomach acid. Very important nuance there. Right? We want to increase the production of stomach acid. We don't want to raise the pH at all. If you raise the pH in the stomach, then you are going alkaline and you will not digest anything. Yeah. If you're too anxious, I'm just going to say one of the things that you can do to override anxiety is to breathe. The breath, very important. Bringing in breath. Slow breathing. There are a lot of fabulous YouTube videos out there about mindful breathing, breathing exercises, learning about the breath. I encourage you to look for some of those. So, Monica, I hope I said that right, please. Yes, perfect. Good. Yeah, it's for everyone. Yep, we want to raise the production of stomach acid. We don't want to raise the pH. The pH needs to stay low. Perfect. Okie dokie. And always, apple cider vinegar is a great thing to use. Yes, and a little bit of water. Everybody can do that. Children, adults, etc. Good idea. Hey, Abida. Hope that's right. What can we do to encourage the child to chew more? Well, you could lead by your example and chew slowly. You could make it a contest. Depends on the age of the child. One thing you can do is give one bite at a time. Here's one bite. We're all going to chew 20 times. 1, 2, 3. Right? You can make it a game. So you can give one bite at a time. You can make it a game. You can make it a contest. Who can chew the longest? If you have a couple of children, right? Is it Sally? Is it Bobby? Who is it that gets to choose the longest? You can do that. That's a wonderful thing to do. You can also say, okay, we're all going to have soup now. We need to take 5 minutes to eat our soup, maybe 10. Now we're going to have our vegetables. We're going to take 5 minutes to eat that whole thing of vegetables, or whatever amount of time is appropriate for your family, yeah? Hey, Faria. Hey, Fatima. Hey, Rosa Maria. Hello. All right, we've got how long before a meal is recommended to take apple cider vinegar? You can take it right away. You can have some in a little bit of water and then sit down and have your dinner. Yeah, you can take it right away. It's fine to do that. Okay, let's see. Fatima asks, good question. Good to have you on. Well, thank you. Quick question. Can a GAPS coach work with underage clients who have about 5 to 8 types of anaphylactic type allergies? Or is it a must that they work alongside a practitioner? Please advise. You are welcome to work with a coach or a practitioner because both GAPS coaches and GAPS practitioners know how to implement the diet. They know how to implement the diet. They know how to, all the different cooking techniques, and they will help you move through the diet. You will, neither a GAPS practitioner nor a GAPS coach will advise you to try any foods that your child has an anaphylactic reaction to. And Dr. Natasha wouldn't advise you either. So when you have anaphylactic reactions, the way that we work with them is we do the diet, and then a year or two after you've done the diet, or longer, you work with someone who can test for the anaphylactic allergy, usually one at a time, usually in a doctor's office or a hospital, where they can help, they can be available if your child has a response when you do a challenge. So for that, again, neither a coach nor a practitioner, a CGC or a CGP, will ever advise you to try anything that your child has an anaphylactic allergy to. We just do the diet, and we let it work its magic, and we let it do its healing, and then a year or 2 or 3 years down the road, you can do a challenge with one of those if you would like to do it, but you do it in a place where you would be safe if there was an anaphylactic reaction when you do that challenge. Okay, hope that's helpful. You're welcome. Okay, Rosa asks, how? Okay, I did that already. Okay. Alrighty, everybody. What else have we got? I can answer any questions about parasympathetic state. I can answer questions about what can talk about what's going on in your kitchen. We can talk about sourcing. We can talk about whatever you like. Here I am. You can throw your questions into the chat and we will go from there. I hope this was helpful. Okay, a bit of water for me. Salud. Good, good. Okie dokie. I'm not seeing anything come in. Questions? Who is joining me tomorrow for my first of 4 classes on baking with nut and seed flour? If you're interested in that, I can put that on our page starting tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, 9:30 Mountain Time. Yeah. Okay. Rosa asks, what would be your recommendation for people who don't have a family time meal during the day? Say lunch at work. Okay. What would be your recommendation for nutrition? Yeah, anything. Even if you're at work, the recommendation is to pause. I know. Yes. Throw it in there, Tanya. Just write it down. Okay. So the recommendation for everyone is no matter where you are, whether you're home, whether you're out, whether you are at lunch, at work, at the office, whether you are in a school cafeteria, whether you are wherever you are, to take a moment to get into parasympathetic state. And that means to breathe. To take a moment, you can close your eyes, you can feel your feet on the ground, and you can breathe. Right? Breathe, take 3 deep breaths. And then chew your food slowly. And be present to your meal, no matter where you are. Hope that's helpful. Okay, Tanya says, I got fermented cod liver oil and did the skin test and no reaction. Excellent. And now, Tanya, so just for everyone, I'm just going to bring this up. If anyone has issues, challenges actually taking cod liver oil in, or any oil in through the mouth, you can put it on the skin and let it be absorbed. It's a wonderful thing to do. So you are welcome, Tanya. I know a little bit about your story, a little bit. But for anyone, I have several clients who are working, first bringing in cod liver oil through the skin. And they do it with just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe a drop. And they're putting it here on their wrist, or they're rubbing it in, or they're putting it in their elbow crease, they're putting it on their abdomen, etc. Let's see. After about 5 drops, reaction just around the outer edge of a big area. Okay, so maybe do 4 drops and stay there for a little while. Right? That could be a good idea. Did 1 drop and working up on the skin. Yep. Makes. Yep. Everybody. So everyone, I hope you're getting this as a gem. It's a pearl. It's a little tweak, a little thing you can do for your children too. If anyone has nausea when they try to bring in cod liver oil, because it's oil and it's a gallbladder stressor, it can be, make you nauseous, you are welcome to rub it into the skin instead. Children, adults, anyone. How do you deal with the smell? Well, that's another question, isn't it? Yes, I know. I know. Smells fishy. All right, let's go to Linica. Let's see. My almonds get slimy when I try to ferment them. I tried multiple times and watched your video on it. Starter culture is whey. Is the starter culture yogurt whey or kefir whey? Throw that in there. Let me see. Okay. So I would need to know, is it yogurt whey or kefir whey? Number 1. Number 2, how much are you using? Number 3, how long are you trying to ferment? Those are 3 questions to help troubleshoot that. Okay. You're welcome. Yogurt whey. Okay, perfect. Are you covering it? So you need to cover it. And you also, I need to know, yeah, tell me what, type in, what are you doing so I can figure it out for you. A teaspoon of yogurt whey. Teaspoon of yogurt whey to water. Yeah. Give me more about what your process is. Yes, covered. Okay, it's covered. Let me get to Rosa for a moment. Rosa says cod liver oil needs to be taken with fat. How much fat per teaspoon? Cod liver oil is best taken with butter oil. The official name is high vitamin butter oil. That's from Dr. Weston Price. You can also use ghee. If you cannot tolerate ghee, then because it's, milk fat, then some other fat. It's usually about the same amount, right? So if you do a teaspoon of cod liver oil, a teaspoon of fat, half a teaspoon of cod liver oil, half a teaspoon of fat, that's the best way to go. Okay. What's the difference between fermented milk thistle and normal milk thistle? Which would be the best to use? Fermented everything is best to use. I know, sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But fermented everything is best to use because fermentation is not only a pre-digestion technique, but it also adds certain vitamins. It creates certain vitamins. The fermentation process creates certain vitamins. It also brings in enzymes and etc. So fermented anything is going to be better than not fermented anything. True. Okay. 30 degrees Celsius. I wish I knew what that was Fahrenheit. I don't know that I can look that up. Somebody look up 30 degrees Celsius for more than 24 hours. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry to be an ignorant American. Could you please tell me, look it up on your thingy and then shoot it in here. What is 30 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? I don't have my list with me here and I don't want to leave to get it. So let me know and then I can troubleshoot that for you. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, what do we got here? Can I make sour cream from organic store-bought cream, not raw, in an Instant Pot? I make homemade yogurt in the Instant Pot and it goes fine. 86 is too hot. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to this. Let's get back to this one. Can I make sour cream? So you want to culture organic store-bought cream, not raw, in an Instant Pot. I make homemade yogurt. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you may. Use the same setting as yogurt, and you can. The other option is to, if it's store-bought and pasteurized, bring it up just under boiling to like 180 Fahrenheit. Bring it back down before you culture it and leave it on the counter. That's another option. You can do it both ways. Yes. Okay. All right, here we go. 86. So 86 is too high. It's too hot. So a teaspoon of whey to covered almonds in a mason jar in a dehydrator, 30 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that is really odd. Covered with water. Yes, you want it to be, again, I think it's about 30 degrees, maybe 23 degrees Celsius, I'm thinking. I'm not sure. Again, we want it to be 68 to 72 degrees Celsius. Not more than that, and not more than 24 hours. In fact, yeah, you really want to just do it at, you don't want to ferment, let me say it this way. It's easiest to ferment almonds or any other nut or seed at room temperature. So that's why I'm saying it's 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's 20 to 23 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure, but I would do it at room temperature. I would not put it in a dehydrator, and that's too hot. It's too hot. Yeah, and it's too long. Too hot, too long. I would do 24 hours at room temperature, the same way, and then let me know how it goes. That should be good. Excellent. Good questions. Thank you for that. We figured it out, I think. Okay. Faria asks, how to improve retained privative reflexes in kids? You know, so a friend of mine works with someone who does this. Let me find out. Writing it down. Okay, retained primitive reflexes. And get it to you. Can you put that on the page, please? And we will find out. I'm not remembering the name, and we'll go from there. You're welcome, for sure. Okay. What else have we got? Any other questions, folks? Questions about nuts, seeds, meat stock, meat. Did I miss anyone? I don't think I missed anyone. I'm scrolling up. Okay. Can you ferment mayonnaise on GAPS? Absolutely. Yes. You can ferment, frankly, everyone. Again, one more time with feeling. You're welcome. I love fermentation. Vicki, I missed you. I'm sorry. I'll go back up. Give me a second. Sorry, Vicki. Yes, I would suggest you ferment everything. I would ferment ketchup. I would ferment mustard. I would ferment mayonnaise. I have a video online. Actually, it's a little tiny online course. I probably did it 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. So I look kind of silly. I actually look a lot the same, but anyway. Thanks, Vicki. So yes, I would ferment everything. Everything and anything that you can. Because, again, all of this I've gone through very clearly in my book. It's all like, why do we ferment? Because, A, it's a pre-digestion technique, so it pre-digests the food for you, but there are vitamins created during fermentation. They're created, right? Certain B vitamins are created. Other vitamins are increased during fermentation. Enzymes, right? It's just really, I call fermentation a value-added process. It takes something and it adds value to it, and it makes it easier. All right. Let me go look up here, Vicki. I've got to find Vicki. Vicki, where are you? There you are. Sorry, Vicki, I missed you. Gallbladder pain recommendations. Wow. Also, chronic reflux recommendations. Both are working the diet with supportive detox efforts. Thank you. Okay. Gallbladder pain. So if you're in pain in your gallbladder, that means I'll try not to be too alarmist. We really don't want pain in the gallbladder. If we're having pain in the gallbladder, again, for the most part, in general, that means we've got stones in the gallbladder. It could also mean we have an infection, but most of the time not. Most of the time we're talking about stones or sludge or blockage. And so if you have pain in the gallbladder, I would suggest, depends on how bad the pain is. If the pain is very severe, like you can't even breathe pain, I would do the gallbladder passing a gallstone protocol in here. I would look at that. It's under gallbladder liver, and it talks about how to pass a gallstone. I would do what Dr. Natasha talks about in there. That's how I would treat it. Even if you're not, quote unquote, passing a gallstone, use those supportive measures. The other thing I would do, which she does not have in the book, is what we call stonebreaker tea, which is Chanca Piedra. I have talked about that before. Chanca Piedra, C-H-A-N-C-A, Piedra, P-I-E-D-R-A. Stonebreaker tea, I'd start drinking stonebreaker tea. I do believe that my friend and colleague, Becky Plotner, Dr. Becky Plotner, has Chanca Piedra all written up on her website. I would check it out. She's had time to write. I have not. Oh, well. So it's there. I would check it out, Chanca Piedra tea, and I would do the things that Dr. Natasha says to pass a gallstone. In terms of chronic reflux, a couple of things could be going on there. One is low stomach acid. Yes, believe it or not, chronic reflux is often low stomach acid. So I would have this person do the stomach acid test that's on our page, if they haven't done it already, to find out if they would tolerate using hydrochloric acid or not. What you want to do for chronic reflux usually is increase the stomach acid. Also, I'm thinking, the other thing we know is more meat stock. Meat stock throughout the day, right? Like a cup in the morning, cup mid-morning, cup at lunch, cup in the afternoon, cup at dinner. Spread your meat stock out. It will help with reflux for sure. Those are the two things I would look at. Good. Happy they have supportive detox efforts, but usually, again, reflux has to do. If you're on the diet, which these people are, then I can't say remove grains because they already don't eat grains, right? Usually in the standard American diet, or usually just anyone, if they have reflux, they're not tolerating grains. And if we take grains out, then reflux goes away. But if they're on the diet, then we want to talk about things like increasing stomach acid. All right. Got it. Bless your heart. Clients, and I thank you immensely. You are very, very welcome. Let me know how it goes. Okay. Rosa Maria, I love it. For kids who cannot tolerate nightshades, do you think fermented ketchup could work? I would try it. You know, fermentation really does work magic on things. So one of the things you could do is try it and see how it goes. Yes, Eva, of course. Here comes Eva. Dr. Natasha recommends 2 GAPS milkshakes a day with 4 tablespoons of cream and raw eggs. Yes, absolutely. So that's the other thing for gallbladder support. I was a little bit concerned about gallbladder pain, but maybe that the GAPS milkshake will help with that also. Again, if it's severe pain, I would do the recommendations for gallbladder flush or passing a stone. And if it's not severe, do exactly what Eva is putting in there, which is 2 GAPS milkshakes a day. Yep. 4 tablespoons of sour cream and raw eggs in each of them. Lots and lots of fat. Perfect. Thanks, Eva. Throwing that in there. Eva, are you taking clients? Are you seeing clients? You can let people know right on this little chatteroonie if you are or you're not. Yes. Okay. Good. Any other questions about anything? Again, Rosa, I would try fermenting the ketchup and see if it works. Right? Try with just a little bit and see what happens. That's what we always do. We try with just a little bit and we see what happens. Yes. Okay. I think we have time for one more question if anybody has it. Hello, Iklas Ahmed. Hello. Alrighty. Again, I will put the GAPS baking class on the... Yes. So grateful for you and all the help. You're welcome, Tanya. Keep on keeping on, lady. And everyone else. Keep on keeping on. So, my challenge to all of you is to find one meal a day. Whatever is easiest for you, find one meal a day and be present for it. Right? Chew your food, taste your food, feel the food texture in your mouth. Give thanks for the food. Open to the blessing of the nutrients of the food. Breathe in between bites. How about put your fork down in between bites? That also helps. Excellent. Great. You're welcome. You are welcome. All right, everyone. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful week. I will see you at the same GAPS time, the same GAPS channel, which is 1 week from today at 11:30 Mountain Time. And I hope to hear more about how well you've all done. Please go ahead and read that chapter. It's only 2 pages. In the blue book, page 212, the GAPS Mealtime Ritual. There's even a little verse there for you. And I'm also going to look here and see if it's in this fabulous other book. La, 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 la. Let's see together. GAPS Mealtime Ritual. Let's see. I don't know if she talks about it in the yellow book. The diet, a discussion. It might be there. Let me look at 91. La, la, la. Maybe not. I'm not sure if she has it in the yellow book or not. She doesn't put it in the table of contents. It's not there. Let's see. Yep, I would. Anyway, here we go. Check it out if you can. Thanks a million for your time and sharing your knowledge. All the best. Thank you, Eva. Okay. Vicky, you're the best. Thank you. You're all the best. Blessings to all of you. Blessings to you. Blessings to your children. Blessings to your efforts. And yes, I'll see you all in a week. Okay. Be well, everyone. Bye now.